What's up guys, today we're going over rolling back attacks, starting from 3/4 mount, which is basically when you're in quarter guard but you have your knee on the other side like mount. We'll be looking at a ton of different entries though, and all crucial details. Not only do rolling back attacks look really cool, they also are very practical in my opinion, which you'll see. First off, you want to make sure you hook your toes onto the shin so you can establish a connection and keep that connection. You can still go for the roll without your toes hooked, or even hook as you roll, as sometimes you need to be fast and hooking your toes can be a tell if your partner is wise to it. See here how I don't have my toes hooked to the shin, but it still works in this live rolling session. You can see better in slow-mo. I don't have the opportunity to hook my toes, but I still want the roll and I still execute it and take his back just the same. I also shrimp out to get better position on the back. Again, I don't have the toes hooked, but this time my opponent is able to prevent the back take. I still end up in side control though. The better you get at these, the better you can recover from a failed attempt, making them pretty low risk but high reward. You definitely want to hook your toes though. I just want to show you there's room for imperfection. When we execute the roll, we want to have our shoulder below the hips, not above the hips. That'll make it so we don't have to rely on momentum, we can just rely on angle. Look again how I try and roll over the back, but it's never going to happen. When I move my shoulder below Nikki's hips, it's much easier. This is the angle we need. One way to ensure you're rolling at the right angle is to grab the non-hooked leg with your hand. This will force you into the right angle, otherwise you wouldn't be able to reach. It also acts as great control to minimize chances of your partner escaping or countering the roll. If you don't grab the leg because maybe you can't reach, it's still fine. It only helps. It doesn't make or break the roll. Another tool we can utilize is to push the heel of our hooked leg with our foot. We want our partner's hips to come across our body. This can help with that. It's important that we understand knee positioning. If I try to go for the roll when my knee is in between Nikki's legs, like in half guard, I'm just gonna give her my back and I'm gonna look like an idiot, right? Don't do that. Make sure your knee is out first. Look again, I just give her my back by trying to execute the roll from half guard. We gotta be in quarter guard with our knee on the other side. Again, I call it 3/4 mount. Now we save ourselves from humiliation and everyone thinks we're cool. Where your knee points also matters. If I have my knee pointed away from Nikki's head, then she can easily take my back and reverse the roll. I want to have my knee pointing towards Nikki's head. Once I do, it's pretty much game over for her. I either have her back or have her in the truck position. By understanding knee positioning, you can also counter other people's rolling back attacks by moving your knee in the right spot. It's still a fight though, and the better hooked with your toes they are on you, the harder it is to move. This is another reason why hooking with the toes helps. I actually really like when people try to rolling back attack or berimbolo me because I always counter by fighting for dominant knee positioning. Then I think to myself, that's what you get for trying to beat me at my own game. We don't have to roll all the way through to the back. If you stop halfway through, you'll be in the truck position. From the truck, we have 3 main submissions available. First, the calf slicer. I don't like to triangle my legs like this because it's really annoying when the other person tries to calf slicer you back. Not that it's going to be that effective, but it is going to hurt, so I'd rather put my foot on my own heel, and that's going to be better. You also have the groin stretch available, and if they have tight hips, they can thank you after, as well as the twister. One of my favorite submissions, mostly because it's extremely humiliating for them. It's not dangerous, just like any submission, you gotta tap when you feel it put on. If you don't, it's your own fault. I mean, why would you hold out on a twister? You're gonna get your spine broken, right? And a good tip for if you can't get your arm underneath the head is to pull them across your body, get your arm underneath the head, and then bring them right back. Like I said, low risk, high reward. If you can't get their hips across your body, then you can just abandon to side control. Look again, I'm having trouble executing the roll, so I just unhook my foot and go right to side control. The most common places you'll get to 3/4 mount is by passing half guard and you can't get your foot out, so you bring your knee to the other side, as well as when you have your opponent in mount and they hook your leg to try to escape, then you can execute the roll pretty easily. Another high percentage position to execute the rolling back attack is side control. Not regular side control where we have a crossface, but side control where you have your arm on the inside of their armpit. I pull Nikki's knees towards me and then I hook with my heel, and as I go to roll, that's when I hook with my toes, because I wouldn't have the angle to be able to hook my toes before that. Check out this rolling footage. I do the exact same technique. I initially think about going to the truck, but then I go all the way through and just take Daniel's back. If I go for the roll with plans to hook my toes as I roll but miss, I like to enter into this armbar. I hook my right arm onto Nikki's waist to immobilize her and start fishing for her arm with my other hand. You can enter into the side control position with your arm on the inside of the armpit for many different scenarios, including if they get the underhook on you. You can block the hips with your arm and come all the way around to the other side. And now you're in the position you need to execute the roll. Same thing with north-south. Usually I'll have one arm on the inside of the armpit, one arm on the outside, and now all I gotta do is come around, pull the knees towards me, and execute the roll just like before. If we're going for a knee slide but our partner gets the underhook on us, we can backstep into basically the same position. The only difference is we already have our leg hooked. Check out my half guard passing video to learn more about this in depth and how to pass half guard in general. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment if you haven't already. These are all things that help me out a lot. Thank you so much if you've done one or all of these things. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. When our partner turtles, we want to shoot our knee in between their knee and elbow before they can close the gap. This allows us to either pull them back and take their back, or roll through for the rolling back attack and take their back, or put them in a truck position. Here's some rolling footage where my opponent turtles, but I get my knee in quickly and pull them back to take their back. Look how as Nikki turtles, I shoot my knee in, and as she tries to roll through, I catch her leg with my foot as I pass it to my other leg to hook with my toes. Look one more time, what a thing of beauty. I love rolling back attacks, and man do I love Jiu-Jitsu. Jiu-Jitsu is so pretty, and rolling back attacks are no exception. Let's look at in turtle where you already have one hook in. I hook with my toes, I grab the other leg, and I roll through, pushing my other leg through so I can bring Mike's hips across my body. It isn't just flashy, it's also practical, because look what can happen if Mike just rolls to half guard. Instead, I want an answer. As he goes to roll to half guard, I roll through for the rolling back attack. This open guard entry can be thought of as both an entry and a good drill. I push Nikki's feet towards the floor, elevating her hips and creating access for my knee to enter. Catching her leg with my foot and passing it to my other leg. This is a great drill because it forces knee positioning understanding. If your knee is too far away, you won't be in the right position to hook your legs in. And when you first try it, I guarantee your knee will be too far away, but once you learn to bring your knee closer, then it'll be easy. It also really helps with your leg dexterity, which is essential for rolling back attacks and jiu-jitsu in general. You've heard the saying, if you can't pass guard, screw it, try a leg lock. The same applies for rolling back attacks, but really you should think of this as another trick up your sleeve, another tool in the toolbox. For this one, there's not really much I can say that you can't see for yourself and hasn't been covered in the other entries, so just bask in its glory and enjoy how pretty it is in 4K and slow-mo, just like me. I'm just kidding. Thanks for watching guys, and check out this blooper. Poor Nikki, I need her right in the thigh. As always, please leave a comment or fist bump if you're still here. If you want to leave us a tip, there's a link in the description. But if you don't, no big deal, I just appreciate you watching.